Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to my NHL 20 franchise mode here in the state of hockey. In the previous episode, we finished up the 2021 off-season free agency re-signing phase. We even reassembled our coaching staff, so we are here. It was a lot. We decided on two major signings in free agency. We signed the likes of the person that played second fiddle to Patrice Bergeron for all those years, David Krejci. He's getting a top spot in this lineup this year with Minnesota. We also went out and signed a two-time Stanley Cup champion in Matt Murray. Now, it does show that I simulated 2 games into preseason. I just signed a few depth players for the AHL just so we could make sure they were a stable team this year. I didn't want them to explode. You know, losing a bunch of guys like Raymond, Mironov, all those guys. I don't want them to struggle too much this season. I want them to be competitive, just like us, competitive. I think this year is the year that we try to strive for a playoff spot. I mean, with Kaprizov being the only person that actually produced last year, we were like 4 or 5 points out of a playoff spot. We were this close with a guy that put up 73 goals. So let's jump up into the lineup and show you what I have assembled here for the 2021-2022 regular season. It's year 3 of our 3-year plan. So this is the year that we are making strides towards the playoffs, and this is what I have assembled. Some of my decisions you might disagree with, but this is what I'm running with until I decide to change it, obviously. So the first line, Alexei Pietrangelo, the first overall pick last draft, does say he's a second line forward, so I could definitely go like that. I might do that. We'll see. I just want to show you the lineup as it is right now. So David Krejci, obviously centering that first line. I decided to give him a $7 million contract just for 1 year. He is a second line forward, but I think his playmaking abilities is going to serve Kaprizov, the pure sniper, and the rookie and Pietrangelo really well. I think that center sniper and power forward combination is going to work really well. Kaprizov, I'm assuming he's not going to have 73 goals. If he can have a 40 goal campaign somewhere around there, I'll be happy. But he has actual players on his line this year. I mean, he had Kunin last year, who has jumped up to an 86, by the way, if I didn't mention that before. But he has decent players. I'm assuming the point totals are going to be more spread out. This isn't going to be the MVP line like we had in Columbus. This is going to be a little different. Obviously, we're waiting for our center prospects to grow into that position where they can be, or where they can help us out. Now, Pietrangelo, he's got to make strides this year. Kunin, Fiala, Hoglander, Raymond. Let's talk about that. First line is out of the way. We've talked about it. Second line, Luke Kunin, who his contract is up this year, and I checked how much he wanted, and I kind of regret not signing him to a longer-term deal last time I had the chance. I think it was season 1, where we could have signed him to an 8-year contract at 5, and he's asking for 12 over 8 years, which is a little unrealistic for Luke Kunin, whose career high is, I believe, 56, which isn't bad. He played really well. I'm assuming that's because he was centered and his winger was Kirill Kaprizov. He affected everybody around him in a very positive way. But then you got a guy like Kevin Fiala, so Kevin Fiala is the estranged guy on this team, but he is the most likely to be shunned out of that top 6 alongside Parise in the near future, because you have Raymond and Hoglander coming up. Hoglander is a playmaker. I changed him from a two-way forward to a playmaker because you see right there, his offensive awareness is 99. So just because his puck skills and his shooting isn't the best, he's going to make strides here in the NHL. I think you put him alongside Donato and Raymond, who Raymond is a sniper. I think those two guys are going to work really, really well together, especially Donato centering and hunkering down that line defensively. I believe our coach rolls the top three lines more than the fourth. So you got Greenway, Nosek, and Hartman. I think that's a solid fourth line. Greenway getting special team line or time. I like him. I just think, we have him on a great contract, easy to move if we need to, very valuable. But Hoglander needs to get up there into the top 9. Same with Raymond. Raymond, I'm so excited to see here in the NHL. I didn't check out his stats last year, but he had a 20-goal campaign in Iowa. 58 points is pretty solid. He's a third-line scoring forward, playing with a playmaker with a 99 offensive awareness. This guy's going to grow quick. Hoglander is going to be dominant, and I can see our top 6 in the future. Krejci's going to be gone. Parise's going to be gone. So you get Connor McMichael, Trevor Wong up there, hopefully soon, and whoever we draft this year, because we will get to the draft and we will talk about it because this is the draft to tank. I know I stated before, if we aren't in the position to win, I'm not going to... If we are in the position to win, and I'm not just going to shun all these good players out of the lineup, we will make strides to win. But if we're bad and we luck into a lottery position, this is the year to do it. This year and next year are the years to do it, because there are some crazy freaking players. There are some franchise-altering players. I know we just had a franchise-altering draft by acquiring 2-3 guys, but this draft, one player in the top 5 will change your franchise's history. It will set you on a new path. First overall pick is crazy. The second overall pick, we'll get to. I'm so excited. I spent so much time on the rosters. So Fiala is definitely the most likely guy out in the near future, because Pietrangelo is never going to leave that first line. I could go like Fiala to there, but I don't want Kaprizov's goal scoring to slow down if you put another sniper up there. So Parise's definitely going to be going soon, but obviously he's still an 85. I know there were suggestions to put him in the AHL, bury him, but he's still solid. We still have plenty of cap space. We're in no troubles. I think once we get to the time where cap is a struggle, then we'll push him down the lineup, or into the AHL, bury him, or maybe somebody will pick him up on waivers, But $7.5 million is $7.5 million. We don't have to worry about that right this minute. We're actually, I believe, over or under the cap floor, or maybe just above. I'm not actually too sure about that. So if we do plan on making a trade, I will try to remind myself about that. But Parise is an easy fix. I know Parise and Sutter are albatross contracts, but they're going to help us win in the short term. Okay, so I do like our offensive core, but I really, really, really like our defensive core. The best thing about this team, I know you got Kaprizov and Hoglander and Raymond and all those new guys, those young guys, but look at our freaking defensive core. I've never had a +5 ever. I've never had a +5 more line chemistry. Never. I've never had that. I've never freaking had a +5 in my lineup. This is so exciting, spending 150-something days on my Columbus franchise mode. I never had a +5 in my lineup, so having this is absolutely insane. So let's start from the top. Quinn Hughes, coming over from Vancouver last year to Minnesota. He's a top 2 defenseman. He's getting top 2 time on a fantastic deal, playing with Matt Dumba. They got a +3. Matt Dumba, if we were a solid team last year and we were winning games, he was a Norris candidate. He's a 90 overall. Quinn Hughes is just going to get better. He's 21. 21, guys. He's going to be so good. He is already a great defenseman. And then you have the veteran, potential captain, ? 36 years of age. He had a fantastic season last year, 69 points. Nice, his best goal output maybe ever. I'm trying to think here, did he ever have 10 goals? No, that was his best goal output ever. One of his better seasons in recent memory. When was the last time he had 69 points? That was his career high. He had his career high last year, folks. That's insane. And he's playing with Eminem, Marcus Mironov, 19 years of age, had a great season last year in the AHL, 31 points as an 18-year-old, a +9. He's coming over here into the NHL as a rookie. Maybe he contends for a Calder. I'm not sure. But they're a +5. If they don't perform like a +5, I'm going to be upset. Our defensive, that top four is fantastic. You can throw anybody on the third pairing. But you got a guy like Ville Heinola, who might be the odd man out in the future, but I mean, Sutter is slow. I'm not even slowing down, but Ville Heinola might go. Vinny Heinola is great. Okay, he should be good in the future, but you don't just throw anybody on the third pairing. And when that nobody is Brandt Clark, 18 years of age, phenom, could potentially rival for the first overall pick IRL in 2021. He was a 5th overall pick. Detroit made a terrible mistake coming in clutch, not drafting him 4th overall. They drafted Edo Iguchi, which is a really solid pick, but we get the high elite defenseman in Brandt Clark, who I saw a few times. Oh, is that not funny? I just realized that Detroit passed on Brandt Clark, and they had him his entire career in the Columbus franchise mode. That is hilarious. So Brandt Clark is a top 6 defenseman. I know the moment he jumps up to a top 4 defenseman, I will throw him in the top 4. He's getting plenty of special team time, but I will keep an eye on that. But if I do have to lose the +5, I will just for Clark's sake, because that's more important currently. Okay, and let's talk about the goaltending. Matt Murray. I said before, 2 Stanley Cups, drafted by Pittsburgh. 2 Stanley Cups before his sophomore season. I think that's only been done twice. Maybe Ken Dryden, I think maybe did it. But he comes over here, plays in Pittsburgh, has a few great seasons with Pittsburgh. 2 Stanley Cups. And then he kind of dips off. IRL, he's not having the best season. Tristan Jarry might even compete for that 1st overall pick. He might have even stolen that first. Or not, did I say first pick? I mean starter. That starting role. Okay, Matt Murray leaves Pittsburgh, looking for maybe a bit of a pay raise. Comes over here to Minnesota, trying to prove himself as a top goalie in the league. And he comes over here, 1-year deal. That doesn't hurt him at all. He's coming over here to Minnesota. Hell, he's American, right? So maybe he doesn't have to move too far. Oh, he's Canadian. Since when was Matt Murray Canadian? I did not know that. But Matt Murray, I think he's going to get rejuvenated here in Minnesota, or he has a terrible season and he puts up an 898. And the backup, Capo Kakkonen, 25 years of age, 81 overall, had a decent season with Iowa last year, 37 wins. You could have said maybe he should have started last year for Minnesota, but I thought, hey, we'll put him in a stacked AHL lineup. He'll grow a bit. He did grow a bit, but I don't see this guy being our long-term starter, so that's why I went and acquired Matt Murray. Our scratch skaters are Greg Pattern as the defenseman. Wow, my English is terrible. And then you got Juho Lemiko. He's a 4th liner, and he's a 2-way forward, so we could easily throw him into any situation. So I will show you the special teams, just because I know a few of you guys care about that. Your top power play +3. Gorgeous. So you do see Kaprizov is getting 2 lines there. And you do see that he was switched over to a right winger just because now he'll be on his one-time side, and I want Pietrangelo to play as a franchise player in his specific position. I think Kaprizov is going to be the easier person to transition between the two, the left and the right. Right? He's getting 2 power play units again, just like last year. I want to try that out. I know some people are against it, but 73 goals is 73 goals, and if we want to compete this year, we want him to be on his A game. And you got guys like Lucas Raymond. Pietrangelo, Quinn Hughes, Mironov, and Fiala are also on the power play, so they're getting some extra time there. 4-man, Kaprizov is the man. Ooh, but Marcus Mironov, I think he's going to impress. We've had offensive defensemen like him before. Is he an offensive defenseman? I'm actually not too sure. I think he is. But I'm excited for him to be that defenseman very soon. I think he'll be one of our top defensemen quite quickly. I am hoping for that. And then you got penalty kill, which is looking pretty solid. Really solid players there to hunker down those units. Brant Clark is getting some extra time there. What a beauty. He's going to be great. Oh, I'm so excited. Luke Kunin and Donato getting the 3-man. Extra lines are looking like that. 3-on-3 is a beautiful thing. Extra attacker Kaprizov and Dumba. Gorgeous. Shootout is looking like that. Now, I will show you the AHL very quickly, just so we can talk about it. There's a few prospects here that I'm like, oh yeah, we're buying in. The only there's 3 noticeable guys here. One of them, our top prospect in the system, is Matthew Boldy, 20 years of age, 78 overall. I believe he was I want to say he was the 12th overall pick or 10 to 14 range in the 2019 NHL draft by Minnesota. I'm hoping he turns into because, see, Fiala is just going to be even more expendable because Matthew Boldy's going to make his way into lineup, right? So that's my thought process there. You got Connor Duar, who can compete for a bottom 6 position as center in the very near future. And the next centerman is Boris Habibulin, 19 years of age, 71 overall. I think this guy's going to be pretty good. He's going to be a solid depth forward for us in the future. I think there's only one noticeable defenseman here. His name is Kalen Addison. He came over from Pittsburgh in the Jason Zucker trade, IRL. So I'm glad he's actually turning around. I mean, he only started at like a 60-something overall. So he's 75, 21 years of age. Hopefully, we got a stacked defensive core. We just need to focus on drafting forwards and goalies in the future. That's literally it. Our defensive core is set for like a decade, which is awesome. Our goaltender there is Hunter Jones, 20 years of age, coming over. Where did he play last year? Played in the OHL with Peterborough. So not a bad season in the OHL. So he's coming over here to Iowa to start. He's 75 overall, 20 years of age. That is a huge, huge jump from last year. He was 66 overall last year, if I'm not mistaken. That is big for us. Then you have the elite prospect goaltender, high elite, 69 overall. Nice. Jaden Weeman. This kid is going places. 69 overall. He has such a nice, advantage over a bunch of prospect goalies I've had before. He has the age on his side and he has the overall on his side. He's going to be starting goaltender very, very soon if he grows quickly. There's a bunch of scratch players here, but nothing too noticeable. We did sign Brandon Dubinsky because why the hell not? Now, there is the question about captaincy. And I'm sure a lot of you guys have suggestions, and I want you to drop your suggestions down below right now. But as it stands, there will be no captain this year for Minnesota. When I find my captain, I will know. Because, like, Pietrangelo, I mean, there's a bunch of guys here. Kunin, Hoglander, Kaprizov, Raymond, Dumba, Quinn Hughes, Mironov. It's up to you guys to decide. Maybe we draft somebody this year that turns out to be our captain. But when we know, we will know. But I want to hear your suggestions, obviously. So it is officially a new year. Welcome to 2021-2022 regular season. Are we going to be competitive this year? We will find that out in this episode. I don't plan on simming the entire season. I just want to see the first 3 months potentially. I want to see how we do. Obviously, I know I will not make that trade. Oh, yeah! I want to show you the draft, folks. How did I forget that? The draft. Now, I don't know if I want to leave this a surprise. No, you know what? I'm going to leave it a surprise. I will leave it a surprise, but I will show you who the top prospects are. The number 1 overall projected pick is Anthony Francis, and he is a creative player from my imagination. It's my brother's middle name and my middle name combined, and that's the guy I always used in Be a Pro because I hate using my own name in Be a Pro for some weird reason. Anthony Francis, 6'6" center out of the OHL. He is an absolute beauty. Then you have Ben Archer, who is going to be the next Erik Karlsson. And then you have the 1st and 2nd overall pick in my last franchise mode in 2022, Shane Wright and Matthew Savoie. their franchise players. And then you have a franchise mode legend, easily our best player, Jeffrey freaking Woodworth. If I have the chance to draft Jeffrey Woodworth, I'm going to do it. But if I don't have the chance to draft him, obviously, I'll let him go to some other team. Personally, I hope he goes to Columbus. That would just... I would cry. Then you have Taro Tujimoto, who, if you don't know this story, the Buffalo Sabres, I can't remember the year, but you can Google it. The Buffalo Sabres they used to do the draft very poorly. They would do it in a room. They would just call on a phone like, hey, I draft this guy, and they wouldn't even have the prospects out on the stage. It was, I can't remember what, I'm assuming it's the early 70s because Buffalo was just introduced to the league. They were just playing around with the league, and it was late in the draft. Tari Tujimoto was an actual drafted player, but he wasn't an actual human being. They said, oh, this kid out of Japan. And the NHL was like, sure. And he was an actual drafted player. So, and he wasn't an actual person, which is a fantastic, fantastic story. I recommend reading up on that. It's fantastic. You have Brad Lambert, computer-generated guy, and Darren Barnett, Alexander Roback, who is a created player, Alexei Slychuk, who is the brother of Vadim Slychuk last year. I thought, I created players. How about we have a brother dynasty there? Then you have Dylan Hunt, who is a subscriber-generated player. Joachim Kamel, Rango Terzvedowski, who is another subscriber-created player. Ludwig Persson, Cal Numanen, Eric Johansson, who I believe NHL YouTuber in Etanios created him, and I created him, obviously. Now, I want you to keep your eyes on this goalie. I don't know why he's going so late, but I will say he is a franchise-altering goaltender. I don't know why he's projected at 17th overall. That's very surprising. He should be top 3 pick easily. Samuel Hagos, Clark Burish, Lidman, Slavovsky, Kajakovsky, Jin Raun, who I created. Tim Threffall, who is a subscriber-created player. And there's a bunch here. There's so many players here. Chunky McSkatefast. Derp Snurfson out of Sweden. But you know what? Let's go ahead and start the simulation. Here we go, folks. Now, I'm on the fence here. If we're competitive, we're competitive. But if we're not, I don't think I'm going to be too upset. But you know what? Just for old time's sake, let's slow sim the first game of the season, and maybe one of our rookies will get their first ever goal. Okay, folks. Washington Capitals. Here we freaking go, boys and girls. First period. 2-2. Luke Kunin getting the first goal of the season. John Carlson tying up on Capo Kakinen. I don't know why he's starting. Ryan Donato scores, and Ovechkin pots his first of the season. First of many. Second period. 3-3. Oh, Lucas Raymond scores his first ever NHL goal, but he is followed up by the great 8, Alexander Ovechkin. Third period underway. Come on. It's been even all game. It's pretty even in shots, too. Will we take the W on home ice? Alexei Pietrangelo, Petey on the power play. I freaking love it. First career goal, I'm sure, of many. Evgeny Kuznetsov ties it on the power play. Will we have overtime? We will, folks. You know what? Just because I'm feeling special, how about we jump into this one? Huh? I thought I'd do something special for you guys. This is the first time I'm seeing Minnesota, my created Minnesota team, on the ice. Let's see how they fare in overtime against a former Stanley Cup champion in the Washington Capitals. Will we beat them here in the first game of the season? Kaprizov on the ice. He's going to do it, trying to get his first goal of the season. He gets rocked in the boards. And he gets the puck back in front. In front. It's whiffed off Carlson, but Sutter regains the puck. Why didn't he just pass it over, Sutter? You absolute fool! You're a fool! Ovechkin trying to go for the Hattie. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. And it's up to Krejci. David Krejci. Just pass it back to Kaprizov. In front, slapper in front. Alexei Pietrangelo trying to get that puck in front, but it is sent up. And that's a trip. Who took that? Was that Sutter? I swear to God, Sutter, don't you do this to me. If it's Sutter going to... Who is that? 46. David! No, that's not a good showing, David. No! David! That's terrible, David! Okay. Okay. We can kill this penalty off. We can even win this game, okay, folks? Here we go. We win the face-off. Dumba. Don't just dump it out. Dumba it out? Okay. Oh, and he gets absolutely plastered into the boards. Veron. Broken 2-on-2. It fell apart quickly. Back to Oshie in front, trying to look for the one-timer. Why is Ovechkin not on the ice? In front. Kakkonen makes the save. Pretty in front for... That was not fun. That was not fun. Okay, Orlov. I don't know why they're showing Orlov. Oh, just plastering him into the board. Yeah, just... Did he have the puck? That might have been charging. All I'm saying, he went across the ice to make that hit. Putting himself out of position. That's a little reckless. Sutter. It gets absolutely demolished. Throw the... What was that, Sutter, man? Really? Oh, that was disappointing. And we drop game number 1 of the season in overtime to Alexander Ovechkin's Washington Capitals. That was just a rough play, Minnesota. What was the goalie doing? Why did you back off? You knew he was going to shoot the puck. Why did he just backed up? What is this? What is this AI? What is this AI game? Really? Really? You know, we get a point out of that, but that was a rough way to end overtime. A terrible penalty by David Krejci, and then a terrible defensive play by the goaltender and Sutter. He got absolutely rocked in the boards, and there was no support. So let's simulate the entire month of October. Let's see if let's see if Lady Luck is on our side. So 2 Metropolitan teams in the row. We get the victory. Florida. We lose in regulation 1-1-1 after 3. Vegas. Another regulation loss. Pittsburgh, 2. Ooh, we should probably be competing better than... Oh, guys, don't do this. Why are we competing so bad? Okay, let's look at the draft one more time. Maybe we've already scouted a bunch of players. No, we have not. I lied to you guys. I'm sorry. Washington. Shutout victory. And Boston. Oh, we're back to 500. Toronto shootout loss. McMichael for Forsberg. No. No. And Zach Parise wants to talk to us. Zach, you're playing on the second line and you're like almost 40. Shut up. And yeah, I know you'll be wherever I need you to be because I pay your salary, or the owner pays your salary. I'm the reason you're still on this team. 2 games to end the month here. Vegas and Arizona. Regulation win. Can we get 2 in a row? Make that 3 in a row. Matthew Boldy for Anthony Mantha, who offered him $10 million. Oh, you offered Anthony Mantha $10 million, you absolute fools. 7-4-2 after 1 month, and you know that was a little disappointing. But we ended the month hot. Kirill Kaprizov has 9 goals. We're currently 3rd in our division, so it's a bit weaker this season. So it's all up in the air right now. But let's check our stats after 13 games. 13 games. Obviously, Kaprizov is leading this team in points. Who's surprised by that? 9 goals. Absolute stud. Hopefully he has another 70-goal campaign. He's on pace to have it. 90 overall. I also have to re-sign him, and I will give him as much money as he wants. Zach Parise having also a really solid season there. 14 points. What's the point of burying him in the lineup or in the system if he's producing this good? And the rookie and Alexei Pietrangelo, 19 years of age, 8 points, 6 goals. That's not too shabby. Hopefully, once we start turning on the burners, everybody starts producing. David Krejci isn't even doing that bad. 8 points in 13 games. Ryan Donato 8 as well. Luke Kunin also 8. So the centers aren't doing too bad. Thomas Nosek. So all 4 centers have around the same points right now. Nils Hoglander in his rookie season also isn't doing too shabby. It's a rookie, not too bad on the 3rd line. Could be worse. Ryan Hartman, 6 points on the 4th line. 3 goals. Not too shabby. Kevin Fiala, 6 points. Ooh, Kevin. Ugh, that's rough. I will say that is quite rough, Kevin. I'm not going to lie. Lucas Raymond, 4 points. That's also a little rough. But I'm hoping once we start turning the season around, we'll be better. I mean, Jordan Greenway has also been pretty iffy. But he is playing 4th line time, so I'll let that be. Defense. Oh, Marcus Mironov. Is he competing for maybe even a Norris this season and a Calder? Eminem, you absolute stud. 84 overall. I like that very much. Matthew Dumba, 8 points, no goals yet, so that's fair. Ville Heinola. Ville Heinola with 7 points. Quinn Hughes with 7 as well. Getting a lot of points from our back end. Brant Clark, a rookie, 5 points. Could be worse. Hell yeah. I think he's gone up 1 overall, too. And Ryan Sutter, dipping off a bit. 4 points. Could be worse. So our back end is producing really well. I think it's our forwards' fault right now. I'm not going to lie. Goaltending. Matt Murray has been rough. I'm not going to lie. We have won a few games in a row now. Haven't lost in regulation in a bit. So maybe it's cobwebs. Maybe it's cobwebs. I'm not sure. I'm not even going to check the entire league stats until after 2 months, but we are hot right now. Hopefully we can take advantage of our weaker division this year and just go on a run. So we are here in November, 7-4-2 after 13. Let's see how we fare in month numero 2. Maybe we're playing a few Western teams to start the month. Connor McMichael for Forsberg. No, why the hell would I trade you one of my top prospects in Connor McMichael? 78 overall. This guy's pretty good. I can't wait for him to come up into the lineup. He's a 2-way forward? Probably have to change him to a playmaker. That's not right. Philip Forsberg, he's 81 overall. That's probably morale related, so I'm gonna wait on that. Winnipeg starting the month off with the W. I will take it. Colorado leading the Central Division. We get a W. LA, and that's a few in a row, folks. That is huge. Coach Jameson Wellwood. Oh yeah, I made a promise that I'd about Alexei Petrangelov, like just give him a stint in the NHL, and he's done well so far, so there's no point in sending him down. Hell yes, Jameson Wellwood. Good to hear. Detroit, the dumpster fire. We get the victory. 11-4-2, shootout loss. Calgary, come on, keep it going, folks. That's what I'm talking about. Minnesota, Vancouver, hell yes, boys. Edmonton, come on, keep it going. So, 2 straight losses there, but we get 1 point there. Another OT loss. Yikes, Luke Kunin wants to talk. Shut up, man, you're fine. You know what, I'm going to agree. Oh. No. But there's 2 promises, that doesn't make any sense. I'm gonna disagree. I just should have tried to persuade him. I don't care, Luke Kunin, you need to get it together. Even though I don't know how he's doing. Carolina, we pick up a W there. Detroit has fired their head coach and Jose Yenkin, so they're off. Detroit doesn't know how to do anything in these franchise modes. 2 franchise modes and there's still a dumpster fire. My God. Chicago. That's big. 15-5-5. Make that 16-5-5. We are here in December. Our RFAs are up. So, Kaprizov, 20 goals. But before we even check the stats, I want to view the contracts. Okay. Kaprizov, I can't make him a deal yet. What do you mean? I want to make him a deal. I'll pay him $10 quadrillion if I have to. Luke Kunin? See, what is he asking for around this? Oh no, he's asking for only. Oh yeah, that's not even too bad. Maybe once his offensive numbers dip down a bit, he'll ask for less. But I'm hoping his offensive numbers don't go down. So let's check the entire league stats, or let's check our team first. Kaprizov up to a 91 overall. What can I say except you're welcome? Kaprizov, 20 freaking goals. How many career goals does this kid have? He has 93 in 108 career games. What is that? That doesn't make any sense. He's so good. He's so freaking good. I love that so much for us. Alexei Petrangelov, 26, 18 goals. So that's why probably Kaprizov isn't scoring as... I mean, he's scoring 20. So, like, how much can we complain there, really? Zach Parise with 24. He's producing. David Krejci, 18. Also producing. Luke Kunin. Maybe if we are competitive around the trade deadline, and if there's a center out there, do we spend a bit to go out there and get a top-tier center trying to go towards the playoffs? Luke Kunin, 16. Donato, 14. Could be worse. Kevin Fiala, not the best. This he might have to go. He might be a piece in a trade in the very near future. Nils Hocklander, as a rookie, he's putting up the same numbers as not a rookie. 25 years of age, 5 years older. That's something to keep in mind. Thomas Nosek isn't even doing that bad on the fourth line. Actually, up to an 80 overall. Raymond, he's been rough. I'm not sure why, but I'm sure he's fine. He's 19. I'm not expecting the best numbers in the world, but hopefully he turns it around. Jeremy Hartman is obviously Hartman. And Greenway's been disappointing. 83 overall, so maybe if we move Fiala, he moves up into the third line. I'm not sure at this point. So let's check out the defense. Have they kept up pace? Matthew frickin' Dumba. Potentially going out there and wanting a Norris after a season like last year. He wants it. Quinn Hughes, 20 points. 80-9 overall. Oh, chef kiss. Mwah. Absolute. Oh, that is huge that he's producing. I was scared after last year coming over. He didn't put up the most points in Minnesota. We were obviously struggling, but now he's putting up points. Ooh, that's big for us. Marcus Mironov did dip off a bit, but 16 points in 26 games as a rookie defenseman is really impressive. Ville Heinola also dipped down a bit. 9 points. He's +8, though. Brent Clark, 8 points as a rookie defenseman. It does say he's a minor top 2 defenseman, but I want to keep him up here in the NHL as long as I have to. Ryan Sutter, he's a defensive asset, so I'm not too upset about that. Goaltending, has it gotten better? Has it gotten worse? Matt Murray. I know goalies are voodoo, and I don't want to give any props to you, but 9-12. That was a good month. Good month, I'll give you that. Even our backup's doing well. Cacking it. Hell yeah. So actually, let's check out the entire league, see who's on top of the hockey world right now. Let's see who it is. Jakob Markstrom, who we did have the potential of getting in free agency, but I thought Matt Murray was the best decision. He was one of the youngest goalies there. Bobrovsky, currently, I would say it's Elvis Merzlikins, 85 overall. Absolute stud. Yeah, hell yeah. I agree with it. He's taking home some hardware at this very point in the season, but still a long ways away. Rookie skaters. It's currently... Ooh, it's a race. It's a race. Personally, I would have to give it to Alexei Petrangelov just because he's a +4. He has 18 goals. They have the same amount of points, but Podkolzin, okay, that's a guy to... He's always good in franchise mode, so you got a Gucci, Atu Ratu, who's doing actually really solid. You rarely see the first overall pick who's an actual player produce really well the year after. Denisenko's up there. McCollum, who's the center that I did want. Oh, what a beauty. I wish I got him, but we got Petrangelov. I mean, Mironov is the top rookie defenseman there, so that's huge to see. Let's check out defenseman. Who's top of... Oh, Cale Makar. Ooh, you got Pietrangelo. Giordano. Dumba is up there. It is a long season, so if we are a good team and our plus-minus goes up and he keeps about the same pace of points, he could definitely take home some hardware this year. But who is leading the entire league in points? Currently, Patrick freaking Laine. Wish I got Elias Pettersson last year. I'm upset with myself. 38 points. I mean, Kaprizov is this close. This freaking close. So let's check the entire league stats here, or for goal. Oh, Laine has played one more game. And I think going down the stretch, I would give it to Kaprizov just because he's in more of a position to succeed because he's getting all the ice time. 26 games to 27. They're tied with goals. Okay, Line is keeping pace. So, 16-5-5. Let's leave it at that. I think we're 26 games into the season. You've seen a lot. I want you to give suggestions down below and tell me what you think we should do. If you have any suggestions, obviously leave them. Who should be the next captain? Who do you think we should go and acquire during the trade deadline if there is somebody to go out and get? Thank you very much. If you've enjoyed this one, please leave a like, leave a comment, share with people who you think may enjoy this sort of thing. I'll see you in the next one. Ciao.